For decades, MASH has been regarded as one of the greatest television series ever created. A show that brilliantly blended biting comedy with poignant emotional depth in ways few others dared to attempt. And at the center of its enduring success stood Gary Burghoff, the actor who brought life to the beloved Radar O'Reilly. A character whose wide-eyed innocence, quirky mannerisms, and gentle heart made him a fan favorite and one of the most unforgettable presences on television. However, while audiences adored Radar and saw him as the glue that bound together the camp's humor and humanity, the reality behind the cameras told a far more complicated story. Because Gary Burghoff, though immensely talented, was not always easy to work with, and recent revelations confirmed that not every cast member shared the glowing admiration of fans, with one co-star in particular reportedly harboring feelings of frustration that eventually grew into open dislike. Radar's role was unique among the hardened doctors, cynical nurses, and sarcastic surgeons. He represented innocence in the middle of chaos, the young clerk who seemed to know what everyone needed before they even asked. And that portrayal was deeply loved by viewers. Yet Burghoff's perfectionism, his sharp focus on performance, and his at times unpredictable moods often clashed with the ensemble spirit of the set, creating tension that audiences never suspected. And while co-star Mike Farrell, who played B.J. Hunnicutt, later hinted gently that Gary could be difficult to work with without elaborating in detail, others privately acknowledged that his intensity sometimes made things challenging. Even Alan Alda, who greatly admired Burghoff's talent and had nothing but respect for his acting, admitted that Gary sometimes had a hard time blending into the easygoing rhythm of the group. But the strongest resentment came from Larry Linville, the actor who portrayed the much-hated Frank Burns. Because while Burns and Radar clashed often on-screen in ways that delighted fans, the tension did not always vanish when the cameras stopped rolling. And insiders suggest Linville grew weary of Burghoff's frequent demands for attention and sharp temper, feeling they detracted from the balance of the ensemble cast, especially at a time when Linville was already struggling with the limitations and unflattering writing of his own character. This friction reportedly made working conditions difficult. And over time, quiet resentment built up behind the laughter, applause, and critical acclaim until the environment became strained. And though Burghoff eventually left MAS*H in 1979, citing personal reasons and a wish to spend more time with his family, many believe the backstage tensions also played a role in his decision, even if that truth was never publicly emphasized, leaving fans unaware for decades of the challenges beneath the surface. Yet despite this, Gary Burghoff's legacy as Radar O'Reilly remains untouchable. Because the heart, innocence, and humanity he brought to the screen left an indelible mark. And while the truth behind the scenes shows that even the most beloved productions are shaped by human struggles, personality conflicts, and hidden resentments, it does not erase the magic of his performance. Though it reminds us that fame and artistry often come at a cost, with some castmates adoring him while others quietly despised him. A contrast that only deepens the story of a man whose talent triumphed even in the face of conflict, ensuring that Radar O'Reilly will live on in television history, remembered for the warmth and sincerity that Gary Burghoff alone could deliver. Even as the complex reality behind the curtain adds a sobering layer to the legend.